Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys had a great week. And today, for this video, I want to talk about risk management because I got a lot of people telling me, "Hey, man, I got the concepts done. I know how to trade, but how do you practice risk management, or how do you control your risk management?" Right. So I'm gonna try to give you guys two things. Is obviously one is a plan on how I do my risk management, and the second one is how I recommend you guys to figure out what you guys are comfortable with. Okay, so just gonna come over here real quick, start typing out. So plan A, oops, plan A, right? And then there's also gonna be a plan B. So plan A is gonna be my risk plan. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can just watch this one right here. If not, you guys can just fast forward and go plan B. So plan A for me is for funded accounts, right? I usually do 1 to 2% per trade on challenge slash verification. Okay. And for this one, I just keep it at 1 to 2%. So if I lose, I'm still gonna keep it at 1 to 2%. So I'm basically saying if I lose 10 times in a row, I do 1%, or 5 times, 5 trades. Just because you gotta understand this usually has a 30 to 60 day um period, right? So if you're uncomfortable risking 1 to 2% per trade on channel verifications, you could just do 0.5%, right? Until you get to a maybe 1 to 2% profit of buffer. Oops. And then up your risk to 1 to 2%. Oops, no, they do not do 5% per trade. Okay. So 5% just in case per trade. All right, and then you get to 1 to 2% profit buffer, and then you can go to 1 to 2% per trade as well if you're comfortable with that, or you just do 1 to 2% per trade on challenge verifications because usually there's a 30-60 day period, right? Now, if you have a funded account, for me, I do 0.5. Very simple, 0.5% per trade, and I never up it to one because there's no time period. So more so 0.5% per trade is more than enough. Okay, so for this one here, let's say your account size is $100,000, 100K account. All right, 0.5% is obviously is about $500. It wasn't about it is $500 per trade, right? Obviously, as the account scaling higher, I preferably don't want you to guys to up that. So let's say you're at 101, you're not going to be trading 505. You're going to be or 550. You're going to just keep it at $500. So even if your account, let's say you got the account size is at let's say you made 10%, 110K, your risk per trade is still $500, you know, just or original account balance. Just because you have to understand that you have access to 100,000 doesn't mean that is your 100,000. So you do not want to keep scaling up because it's not like you can keep trading if you go under 90,000. Does that make sense? So this is the plan A that I usually do, right? Yeah, basically, or 0.5% of OG account balance. All right. OG basically means original. So funded accounts, right? This is how I do it, right? Oh, I forgot to add personal accounts, my bad. So a personal account is different. Okay, so now here is personal. Oops, it's not a word. Personal account. So for personal account, I personally would say 2 to 3% per trade for me. 2 to 3% per trade. just because you have the access to your entire account. You're not really limited by the risk, the basically the parameter risk parameters, right? So a personal account, you do 2 to 3% per trade. And obviously once you take losses, so two or like usually I go 3 to 5 losses, you could in a row, right? In a row, try to drop risk by half, right? So 2 to 3% per trade, 3 to 5 losses in a row, you got to drop the risk by half because you're going to be over leveraging your account at that point, right? Like you already lost, it's okay. Like it's a mistake, you learn from it, you go on, right? So in this way, you can't really blow your account, but it will take time to grow back up. So you can't just go in there saying, oh, I lost 3%, or I lost, let's say you took 3 losses and in 2% risk. So that's 6%. So you're like, oh, I'm down 6% now. My main account, let's say I have, $10,000 account, 6%. That's like what, $600, no, $60, right? $60. And you're like, damn, do I really want to um push it? Like yes, I lost some trades already, but I need to practice my risk management and grow this account back up, right? You can't just say, hey, um, I'm just gonna keep going at it with 2 to 3% risk because that's usually how you upload an account because you're doing 2 to 3% per trade off the original balance. It's difficult to control yourself when you say, hey, I'm down. You have a mental note. It's like the gambling ones when like I have to make my money back. I have to make my money back. It's gonna be the same concept in trading. All right. So you're gonna be trying to force trades. You're not gonna be waiting for your best trade setups. You're gonna be like, I want to make my money back ASAP. And when you realize that, you have to take control of your emotions, right? For me, that's something I struggle with a lot as well. That's why for me, I do 0.5% because 0.5% per trade, I can sleep easily at night. Okay. It's very unlikely for me to lose 20 trades in a row and then lose 0.5% and then like lose the whole count. Very unlikely. Not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's very unlikely because I have a trading plan. I back tested, I practice with it. It works, it's profitable. There shouldn't be a system where I lose 20 trades in a row. If there is, okay, I lose 20 trades in a row. There's nothing I can do about it, right? Like if somehow, some way my system has proven me that it's profitable and I'm following the rules exactly, and I'm just losing every single trade, then I probably need to take a step back and reevaluate what am I doing wrong and what is making my training plan not work, right? So it takes a lot of time to build that trading plan, and this is just the risk, right? So plan B is more so, right? Um, how you would feel, like how people would usually like how you guys would want to trade, I guess. Like depends on how you guys want to trade, right? So for this one, this is my personal one. And if I was gonna go out there saying, hey, I want to share with you guys something that you guys can probably do. So I know people usually do um 0.5%, same thing kind of per trade for challenges, right? And then they build a usually a 2 to 3% buffer, right? And then they go into 1% per trade. So that's usually what people do. Like you guys can try to decide if you guys like this, right? From the account. This is for the challenges though. Okay. So this would be for challenge slash verifications. Okay. And there's also this is basically kind of combined with ICT. So 0. And then when 3 losses, oh my bad, in a row means you cut risk in half, right? But you have to remember you are trading with within a certain time period. So you cutting the risk in half, you have to understand you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you're lowering your risk, but the time is still running by your side. Like understand that, oh, but my risk management is telling me to do this. Yes, that's why I said it kind of depends because if you're trying to pass the account, you do have to up your risk a little bit because they allow you to, obviously. And the second thing is you have to trade within the time period. For me, on my main account, obviously on the funded account, there's no time limit anymore. It's whatever you make, you keep. There's nothing really holding saying, hey, if you don't make, $10,000 by 30 days, you no longer have that account. They don't do that. Like they don't do that. There's nothing like that, right? There's not like there's nothing like a parameter that you have to hit because that would be fucked up, right? But for this one, this is ICT's kind of method, 3 losses in a row, you cut a risk in half. But right, it's also mainly for personal accounts because you don't want to blow your account. But this is a funded account challenge, right? And then after funded account, right? You have a funded account. And usually people just go out saying 1% per trade because it's not your money already. You're already using, now you already have the funded account, 1% per trade, and then try to get it to, 5 to 8% gain, and then drop risk to 0.5%. And then obviously you want to wait for payout. So that's basically how I would like see other people doing it. And I don't think it's a bad idea because you're okay, you already have the account, you do 1% per trade for 5 to 8% gain. And then you drop risk to 0.5% after you had 5.8% gain, drop risk to 0.5, wait for payout. Very simple. You can do something like that as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So leave that there. And then personal account. So for personal account, it now really depends on who you are. Like if you're a scalper, right? If you're like scalper, right? You might do 0.5 to 1%, right? 0.5% to 1% per trade because you're scalping, right? Per trade. And then you might say, hey, 3 to 5 trades a day. Something like that. Like if you're able to catch 5 trades, depends on who you are, right? Like usually it's more realistic, it's like 1 to 2 trades, but I'm just do that 1 to 2 trades per day. So something like that. And if you're a day trader, obviously, you would be, I think, 1%, 1% to 2% per trade, right? Or higher, but depends on what you guys, but 1 to 2%. And then maybe 1 to 3 trades a week, right? Because day trade doesn't mean you're trading every day. It just means, you look at you're gonna probably hold for more than an hour usually, or more than a few hours. So that will be your day trader, your 1 to 2% per trade, 1 to 3 trades a week, right? And now we have the swing trader, right? Usually for these guys, they go 3 to 5%, right? And they're hunting, so 1 to 3% per trade, and they're probably taking 1 to 3 trades. Oh, not 13, my bad. 1 to 3 trades a month, right? A month. And they're looking for, at least 3 to 1, right? So 1 to 3 trades a month, at least 1 to 3 risk to reward. So that's what, swing traders would usually aim for. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off of what ICT is usually saying for this one. So personal account 0.5 to 1% per trade, 1 to 2 trades a day. You're scalping, so you're in and out within. You're out of the position within like an hour or so. Day trader, you might hold it for a few hours, which is fine. And then swing trader is the one where you're only taking 1 to 3 trades a month and you're trying to catch at least 1 to 3 risk to reward. You don't have to. Personally, I don't want to enforce that or ingrain that in your heads because I don't think you need that, right? I think if you do 3 to 5% per trade, 1 to 3 trades a month, and let's say you are just doing 1 to 1, that's 9 to 15% a month, which is crazy, right? Let's just say you win all 3, right? And day trader, obviously, 1 to 2% per 1 to 3 weeks. Basically, same thing. But let's say 2% a week, right? 2% a week, and for 8%. And for this one, obviously, just like I told you, everything here can be profitable. Okay, you just have to find your style and what you like to do, right? If you say, "Hey, I love to be a scalper. I don't like holding trades for too long because I'm afraid." Okay, cool. But you're like, "Hey, and then another person say, "Hey, I'm more of a I like to let my trades play out. I like to see them run to levels of equity, et cetera, et cetera." I'll be a day trader, right? We're like, oh, I see these long-term moves that happen in the charts, and I like to just take one trade and not focus on trying to find new positions every day. Cool, be a swing trader. So it really depends on who you are and how you trade, right? So I'm gonna leave this on for there. So that's kind of how I would look at it. So plan A is first, like this is my plan. Okay, this is Alan's plan. This is how I usually look at trading, right? And then plan B is more so like a recommendation. If you guys want to do something like this, that's fine too. But most importantly, I feel like it's psychology and like you got to find out who you are as a trader. Like, are you more of a scalper, day trader, swing trader? It really depends on who you are, right? But yeah, that's kind of wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Right? If you guys have any questions about it or any suggestions on like on how you guys manage risk, drop in the comments. I'll reply to most of them or try all of them. And yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys back on the charts on Monday. Peace.